Hey everybody, and happy Thursday. Hope everyone is having a phenomenal week. First and foremost, just wanted to again say thank you so much to everyone that took the time out of their day yesterday to wish me a happy birthday. It was a wonderful, wonderful day, capped off with probably one of the greatest birthday presents, which was a last-second three-point buzzer beater for the win from Joel Embiid. And the Sixers, my Sixers, are now up 3-0 over the Toronto Raptors. So very excited about that. Good morning, Kim. Good to see you jumping on. Again, if you still have your morning cup of coffee, as always, I invite you to enjoy it with me. As you come on, as Kim has already done, please do say hi and where you are coming in from. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Or you can use hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are coming in on the replay. Thank you so much for the belated birthday wishes. Good morning, Charles. If you're on the replay, obviously hashtag replay. Good to see people coming in from Arizona. And you can tag some people, share this video. And just a reminder, starting next Monday, so April 25th through April 29th, Nancy and I are doing, it has been confirmed, we are doing our one and only. It's the only one. We went through our calendar for this year with everything we all has going on. This is going to be our only LinkedIn intensive of the year. It's from April 25th to April 29th. It's Monday through Friday next week, 8 to 9 p.m. EDT. Monday through Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. EDT. On Friday, it is live and recorded. So if you're coming in from a different time zone, you can watch the replay the very next day. Everyone gets a workbook. There's going to be prizes given out. And the replays, this is the first time we're doing this. The replays of the workshop are actually available for 2 whole weeks after we are done. So not only do you get your workbook that's going to teach you everything, you can go back and you can watch these trainings over and over again, binge as much as you want for 2 whole weeks. So we have nearly 100 people registered, which we are so grateful for. If you would like to register for this event, just drop an I do in the comments at any point, live or on the replay, so we can get you registered, get you your workbook, your private Zoom link that you're going to need, and access to the private Facebook group where all the prizes and awards will be given out. And we're going to be teaching you everything about LinkedIn, optimizing your profile, and all the new things you can add to your profile that have been released over the last 8 months. Searching and connecting and building the right kind of network, messaging people, an example call structure so you can close more people, and then content creation, and finishing up with our 20-minute a day routine. So again, if anybody would like to join, just drop an I do in the comments below and we will get you that registration link. And again, if you're coming on, please do say hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live. And what I wanted to go over today in today's training, as you could see by the title, are the 3 types of posts to put out on LinkedIn that actually grow your business. Now, I did a poll yesterday that's still obviously going. There's close to 60 people that have already voted. And it was, I was asking my audience what they felt the biggest problem was that's going on with LinkedIn right now. Was it, spam messages? Was it spam notes being added to connection requests? Or is it the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok repurposed posts? Meaning people are just taking their stuff from Facebook, whether it's relative to business or not, too much personal stuff, and they're sharing it and they're just putting it up on LinkedIn. There's people that are just downloading their TikTok videos or downloading their Instagram reels and throwing it up on LinkedIn thinking, well, some content is better than no content, which in a certain element, I agree. It's better to be putting content out on LinkedIn than not at all, but it should be the right type of content. And the majority of the people that voted, I think over 60% of the people that voted in that poll said that it was the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok type posts that they would like to see less of. And I'm in agreement. I feel like it's hurting the platform in the sense that we don't want LinkedIn to become Facebook. We don't want LinkedIn to become Instagram or TikTok. We want LinkedIn to stay LinkedIn. And if people are more concerned about sharing their personal journeys and things that are going on in their life personally, that's completely fine. That's why you share those things on Facebook and Instagram. LinkedIn is a business networking platform. Now, if it's relative to your business, if it's relatable to your business, if it's thought-provoking, if it's value-added, by all means, you should absolutely share those types of things on LinkedIn. But again, if it's like entertainment type stuff or anything that's not related to your business, and you know deep down inside of your heart that it's more ideal and better for Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, keep it there. So again, I'm going to go over with you in fine detail the 3 types of posts that you should be putting out on LinkedIn each week and why. And again, if you've come on late, please do say hi and where you're coming in from. Good to see Gene on here, Charles from San Antonio. Just type in the chat box, hi, and this is where I'm coming in from, or hashtag live, hashtag replay if you are coming in on the replay. Tag some people, share this video. Don't forget to engage, like, love, insightful, whatever emojicon you want to use. And also don't forget to turn the notification bell on my profile to get notified of all my latest content so you stay engaged. And again, anyone that would like to register for our first and only LinkedIn intensive of the year that begins this Monday, live and recorded Monday through Friday, just drop an I do in the comments below. Now, the big thing that I want to go over with everyone today is what they should be doing in order to get the right type of traction, but also get the right type of people within your network. Now, there's 3 types of posts that you should be doing. So the first thing that everyone should be doing at least once a week is a LinkedIn video or a LinkedIn Live. Now, type in the chat box, I am or I am not, if you're doing at least one native pre-recorded LinkedIn Live or a LinkedIn pre-recorded native video or a LinkedIn Live. Type I am or I am not if you are or are not. Because again, I'm going to go over, for those that are, I'm going to dig into some things, but the people that are not, I'm also going to dig into some things. And Ruthella, good to see you jumping on. So there are specific things, and what I always recommend, Kim says I am not. Ruthella says I am not yet. That's a key word, yet. Now, here's the thing. Monday, Bob says he is. Awesome. Monday is one of the best days to do a video on LinkedIn. Whether it is pre-recorded, native, meaning you're recording it on a Zoom on your computer or on your phone and then uploading it, or a LinkedIn Live, which I prefer. Now, those that turn creator mode on your profile, you'll have access to LinkedIn Live. You don't have to fill out an application like I had to do. It's granted to most people now that are in creator mode, and Jean says she is not. So here's the big thing. The number one way, and there is article and studies done, the number one way to create relationships in the quickest and most meaningful fashion is by producing video content, because people can see you, they can hear you, and they can feel you. Now, if you're not ready for a LinkedIn Live just yet, that's completely fine. I love LinkedIn Live because I love live interaction. I love engaging with all of you. I love seeing people jump on here. I love training. I love teaching. It's what fills me every single day. If you're not ready for that yet, it's okay. Start with a simple native video, which means you just need your phone, prop it up against your computer, hit record, and all you need to do is a 2 to 4 minute video educating and informing your audience about something that is within your zone of genius. So type in the chat box if someone was to ask you, and I'm asking you all right now, what is your specific zone of genius that you teach? So if you walked into an auditorium and there were 150 people sitting in the audience, and a speaker that was supposed to speak that day could not, and they said, listen, Charles, Gene, Bob, Kim, Ruthella, we need you to do a keynote really quickly on your zone of genius. Type in the chat box, what would be that area of expertise that you could speak on for about 30 minutes, unscripted, that would be value added to the people that are listening? So type that in the chat box because this is important. And Gene says emotional intelligence. Love that. And this is part of where your content is going to come from because, again, I always say to people, don't talk about anything that you don't know what you're talking about. Always talk about things that are relative to you. Authority marketing. Ruthella says mindset. That's awesome. So again, you then take that overarching theme. So whether it's emotional intelligence, whether it's mindset, whether it's authority marketing, and what you're going to do is you're going to give tangible tips. And Bob says leadership. It's a great topic. So you could do a simple 2 to 4 minute video on, hey, this is Bob. Just wanted to jump on today and go over the 3 key aspects to becoming a great leader within your organization. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because everybody has a great leader inside of them, but there are things that they need to do to extract that leader to be able to lead others to grow and scale a business if that's what you're looking to do. So the first thing is this. And obviously you state that first thing. You give a little description. Number 2 is this. You give a little description. Number 3 is this. You give a little description. And then you finish it out by saying, I hope everyone enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below, which of these 3 tips based on what you need to do to become a great leader has affected you in a most positive way. Comment below. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. And then you sign off. The key is, and there's also been these scientific studies that people digest information when they're done in series of 3s. 3 tips, 3 how-tos, 3 ways, right? 2 is not enough fine detail, not enough information. 4 and above, you're then getting into an area where it's too much information for them to digest. But 3 is that magic number. So if you notice, a lot of the trainings that I do are typically 3 ways to do this, 3 systems to do that. Today I'm going over the 3 different types of posts. So again, break things down in 3s. It's digestible to the audience, which means it's going to be more applicable for them to actually put it into action and get results, which means now you're building that know, like, and trust. But again, the other important thing is at the end of that video, finish with a call to action. Let me know in the comments below, which did you find most helpful and most impactful? So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box below. James, great to see you jumping on. Thank you for popping on. As James has done, if you come on late, please do say hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live. Hashtag replay if you're coming in on the replay. Tag some people. Share this video. Don't forget to engage. Don't forget to ring my bell on my profile to get notified of all my latest content. And again, if anybody would like to spend all next week with us learning about content like this and how to do it, optimizing your profile, building your network, searching, connecting, messaging, calls, our 20-minute routine, you can join our 5-day LinkedIn intensive. Just drop an I do at any point during this training. We will send you that registration link because registration does close this Sunday. Now, the good thing is it's live and recorded. So if you can't make it live, you can watch the replays, which are emailed out every single morning the day after, and they are available to watch back for 2 whole weeks until May 11th. Now, that is number 1. On Wednesdays, what I would suggest, or Fridays, whatever you want, but the second type of content that you should create each week is an article or a newsletter edition. So again, we'll do this again. Type I am or I am not. And James, I will get you that registration link, not a problem. Type I am or I am not if you are or are not writing a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly article or newsletter within LinkedIn Publisher. So drop an I am or I am not if you are or are not. Now, I'll tell you, I have written over 500 articles on LinkedIn, and things really started to shift. And Kelly says, I am not. Things really started to shift for me when I actually started my own LinkedIn newsletter. So type I have if you've started your own LinkedIn newsletter. And I'm going to explain to you why everyone should. Bob says, I am. Dr. James says, I am not. And I'm going to go through the construct. I'm in the process of starting. Awesome, Gene. So type I have or I have not if you have not started a LinkedIn newsletter yet, because there's a difference between articles and newsletters. They are within the same construct of LinkedIn Publisher, but they're done two different ways, and there's obviously a benefit to doing one over the other, which I'm actually going to go over with you right now. And so when Ruthella said, I am not. So here's the deal. So LinkedIn articles and LinkedIn newsletter editions are great because not only Bob says, I have not, James says, I have not. So why you want to do newsletters over articles, and it's a simple switch. So if you turn creator mode on and you click on the resources that are available to you, one of the resources that it's available to you is LinkedIn newsletters. And when you go to the home page on LinkedIn and you click on write an article, which is across the top toolbar. So when you go on the desktop, it'll say, post this, and you'll see like a little orange icon across that says write an article. All you have to do is click on it, and LinkedIn will actually say to you, create your own newsletter. It'll give you kind of a thin little bar where you can start your own newsletter, which I have been getting unbelievable organic traction. Every edition of mine gets between 2,000 and 4,000 views, tons of engagement, but there are benefits to this. So when you start a newsletter, it should be clearly specific to the profession you're a part of and your zone of genius. So just to kind of go back, Bob can do a leadership newsletter. So leadership tips from Bob. Kim can do one on authority marketing. Ruthella can do a mindset newsletter. Jean can do hers on emotional intelligence. So, and you want to do it each week. So every week you're going to create an addition to your newsletter. So mine is called LinkedIn Tips and Updates. So every single week I create a newsletter edition based on LinkedIn tips and updates. So if there's something new, if there's something that needs to be updated, and I've actually grown my newsletter to 6,000 subscribers. So people actually subscribe to your newsletter. And what LinkedIn does, it actually allows you, and they will say, do you want us to invite your connections to subscribe to your newsletter? They do it for you. And you would say, yes, absolutely. Not only, so when someone subscribes to your newsletter, two things happen. Number one, every time you write a newsletter edition and you publish it, LinkedIn actually sends your subscribers a push notification. So that little bell on the top right of our profiles, it'll send them a notification and it'll say, hey, Dr. James has just written a new addition to his newsletter. Check it out. Bob has just written a new addition to his newsletter. Check it out, and so on and so on. So now it's front facing to the network that you're building. The second thing that LinkedIn does, and this is what I love most, is LinkedIn actually sends an email to every single one of your subscribers and says, it's from Scott Aaron via LinkedIn. Here's my latest newsletter edition. And it has it in newsletter form. And it has joined the conversation on LinkedIn, which means they can click on it and they can engage on LinkedIn. But the other beautiful thing is, if you want to start list building, you want to start communicating with people offline, you can put a very simple call to action in the bottom of your article saying, want to schedule a call to learn more about how I can help you, click here. Want to download my free this, click here. Because of GDPR regulations, we can't contact people on LinkedIn without their permission. So the fact that LinkedIn newsletters and LinkedIn is emailing all of our subscribers, now you can, through GDPR regulations, you can actually put in an opt-in or some sort of link where people willingly will click if they want to learn more or get to know you better. And that way you could start building that email list outside of it organically through LinkedIn's help. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box. Again, if you've come on late, please do say hi and where you're coming in from. And thank you, James. I appreciate that. He says good stuff. Hashtag replay if you're coming in on the replay. Tag some people. Share this video. Don't forget to engage. Like, insightful, support, whatever you would like to do. And ring my bell. Turn my notification bell on my profile so you are notified of when I do produce content, which is every Monday through Saturday. And again, if you would like to register for our 5-day LinkedIn intensive, it's called the Amateur to Expert LinkedIn Intensive. Drop an I do in the comments below. Now, within the articles and newsletters, it's the same thing. It's just going to be longer form content. So you're still going to be educating and informing. So you can give those 3 tips, right? So, if Bob is doing that newsletter edition on the 3 basic tips to becoming a great leader in your organization, he can write a little bit of verbiage above it, and then he can go, here are your 3 tips. Number 1, he lists the tips, and then he's going to write maybe a paragraph giving context to that specific tip. And then number 2, and then a paragraph giving context to that tip, and number 3, and then context a paragraph long to that tip. And at the very end, again, call to action. Which of the 3 tips helped you most within this article edition? Drop it in the comments below. And if you would like to connect further, here's a link to my calendar to hear about how I can help people just like you. And Alfreda, I will definitely get you that link to register, not a problem. So if everybody is clear on the construct of article versus newsletter, articles are fine, newsletters are better. It's going to build your business. It's going to build your brand, your recognition, your visibility, all of those things, your expertise. It's all going to be there. If that makes sense, just type "it does" in the comments below. If you have not started a newsletter, I highly advise you to do so. Release it on a weekly basis. You can either release it every Wednesday or every Friday, whatever's best for you. Make sure it's value added. You're giving tangible tips and takeaways. You're giving people things of value that are applicable to their life and business, where if they take action, they're going to see a result. That is what you want to do. So remember, if you're coming on late, the first thing you're going to do, Mondays, I always suggest doing a LinkedIn Live or a LinkedIn native video that educates and informs. The second thing is an article or a newsletter. Newsletters are better than that. Now, the third and final thing. Thank you, Gene. Thank you, Bob. Now, the third and final thing that you're going to want to do. So if you conceptually put this together, Monday, you have your video. Wednesday, you have your long form piece of content in the form of an article or newsletter. I recommend a newsletter. The third thing that you're going to do on Friday is a how-to or tip post. So this is not a super long post. You're allowed up to 3,000 characters in a regular post on LinkedIn, which is a sizable amount. It's juicy. It's multiple multiple paragraphs. I typically like to keep things in the, I would say, 1,000 to 1,500 character limit. So half of what were allotted within LinkedIn posts. Now, there's a couple keys that you want to make sure that you actually do. So this will be on Friday. Number one, you want to add some sort of professional picture of you to the post. Yeah, so Bob asked a great question. Does time of day on Monday matter for video? I feel it does, Bob. I always like to get my video out before 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it hits that morning crowd on the East Coast. It's 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific. So you're kind of hitting that sweet spot of all the different time zones. And even overseas, Europe, they're 6 hours ahead. That would be about 4 p.m. So their day is winding down. So I feel if you can get it out before 10 a.m., that is going to be the optimal time to get the most value, but also organic engagement up front, but also people watching later in the day. So get it out early so there's more time initially, but also later for people to watch back. Now, you first want to add some sort of professional photo. You want people to put a face to the content. You don't want to just write some blanketed piece of content that doesn't have the visual representation of the author of that content. So I always suggest doing that first. Make sure that it's you. It's front facing. It's a picture of you. It could be a headshot. Sometimes when I'm doing an in-person training, my wife will take some pictures of me teaching, and I sometimes will use those. Completely fine. You. The second thing you want to do, just like your video and just like your newsletter article, you want to make sure that you give people tips or how-tos, and it's typically 3 things. Remember, series of 3s. 3 ways to tap into your emotional intelligence, right? 2 ways to better, or 3 ways to better market yourself on social media. Tip number 1 is this, short little description. Number 2, short little description. Number 3, this. Which of the above tips, call to action, which of the above tips helped you most? Leave it in the comments below. And then the final thing that you do with a post is you want to list 3 to 5 hashtags. Now, this is how people filter their news feeds. People on LinkedIn don't want to see anything they don't want to see. So what do people do now is they follow specific hashtags related to the content that they do want to see. So that could be, Bob could do hashtag leader, hashtag leadership, hashtag leadership tips, hashtag leadership education. 3 to 5. So no less than 3, no more than 5. So Gene can do hashtag emotional intelligence, hashtag intelligence, hashtag emotional maturity. So you want to use 3 to 5 hashtags that clearly relate to the content that you've just produced. So if that makes sense, drop a Y or a yes in the chat box below. If you've come on late, hi and where you're tuning in from, or hashtag live, tag some people, share this video, hashtag replay if you are coming in on the replay, just so I know to go back and say hello. And if anybody would like to register for our 5-day amateur to expert LinkedIn intensive from April 25th to the 29th, live and recorded and available for watchback until May 11th, drop an I do in the chat at any time and I will send that to you. So remember, the 3 types of posts, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, you're going to do that LinkedIn video. If you want to start with native video, 2 to 4 minutes. LinkedIn Live, you can do that as well. Educate and inform. Wednesday, longer form content. Article or newsletter, I highly suggest a newsletter edition over an article. And finally, a medium 1,000 to 1,500 character limit tip or how to post with an image of you to personally brand yourself. Now, if this has helped, please drop in the comments below. And Bob, I will get that link to you. Comment below, what was your biggest takeaway from today's training? Remember, the more that you know, the more that you apply, the better things will go for you and your business on LinkedIn. That's exactly why I do this every Monday and Thursday, to give you the tips, to give you the education that a lot of LinkedIn experts are not. I don't want to hold anything back. I want to tell you exactly how it is to see everyone to succeed, because we all deserve that. So everyone, I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this training. Love and gratitude to each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.